Hi everybody, welcome to Jana's Crochet Journey. Today is Monday, September 29th, 2025. Hope your Monday has gone well. You had a fantabulous weekend and hope your month has been going great because it's almost over already. Holy cow. I cannot believe in a few days we are going to be in October, that it's fall. Man, time just goes too fast. I want to say how much I appreciate my crafty yarny friends that keep coming back video after video, conversing with me in the chat and comments, and just subscribing. My numbers are going up a few every day, which is so awesome. I did mention that my analytics show that I have a lot of people that watch and they are not subscribed, and I'm thinking maybe that's why my numbers are going up, is people thought they were subscribed and then find out they're not. I know what happens to me with the channels that I watch. I'm like thinking, man, where's that person putting up a video? And then when I go check, it says I'm unsubscribed. So I appreciate everybody who, is doing this. My first goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers and then hopefully get people to run my playlists so I can see what becomes of it, because I have no idea except for what other people are saying. So I wanted to come on here today because Saturday I am going to go see my newest granddaughter, and I needed to get done the blanket and the Lovey, which I did. So I will be taking those to her when we go see her. So I wanted to show them before they're not here anymore, because then you're all going to be like, well, and I'm going to be like, whoops. So to get started, I was working on a blanket that the pattern is called the Sunny Blanket by CJ Designs on YouTube. I think last time I couldn't remember where I got the pattern from, but sorry, my windows are open. I mentioned I did not remember where the pattern came from, and when I was searching on YouTube, I was like, oh, there it is. So go check her out. I am now subscribed to her channel because she has a lot of patterns on there that has given me a lot of other ideas for things that I want to make. It's just a matter of time. For this blanket, I used a 5.5 millimeter hook and Yarnspirations Bernat Velvet Stripes in the colorway Lilac Haze. There are 315 yards per cake, and I only had 2, and that's what I used. There was about a 2-foot piece of yarn left after I got finished, so that was good. And I did not put a border on because I don't feel that this type of yarn needs a border, honestly. And I did measure it. Go me! It ended up being 26 wide by 30 long with the 2 cakes and that pattern. I love the pattern super easy. I could do it watching football. And I have a lot of two cakes type of yarns actually. So I'm thinking this would be a good pattern for several blankets. In her original pattern, she had like 400 and some odd yards per cake type of yarn, and I did not. So I think I did chain. I know that was a question I couldn't remember, and now I'm just thinking of it as I'm sitting here. But I think it was 141 chains, and I counted and I followed that. So it kind of gives you an idea. So here's the blanket. I did not color control. So there's the bottom. And I'll get a little closer. And it ended with just a row of gray. So lilac haze. And look at this. It's nice and tight. There's no holes for little fingers and toes. And I love the velvet. It is so soft. My other grandchildren that I made a blanket for with velvet, they love the feel because it's so soft. So here's one more for her. And actually, because we didn't know her gender before she was born, she only has the layette set from me in neutral color. So grandma needed to get some pinks and purples in there. Okay, and then I showed that I bought a tie beanie baby from work of Angel from Stitch, and I was looking through my yarns and I was looking for a cake that I only had one of. So of course, Yarnspirations Bernat Velvet Stripes in the colorway Coral Peony, which isn't too far off from this one. And this is what I have left. I just have a very light pink, a darker pink, and then a light gray. And this will be gone. This is, again, 315 yards. So I made the Lovey for Angel, and once I put it on her, it's big enough. So I have this much left over. I have mentioned before, I wish I had more of this in my stash, this type of yarn. This velvet and cakes, like, that's two of my favorite things. I really don't have, I have like those two there are velvets, but there's a lot of one color. So that to me, I mean, it could be two blankets or one big blanket. But I did get maybe some Millens in velvet, or it could be chenille. I'd have to look. But I don't want to pay full price for yarn. But when I try to look up this particular, I mean, unless I'm at the wrong store online, but I really don't see it anymore. But anyways, my goal is to try to get through a lot of my yarns. I'm not buying any more. I don't need any more. I'm sure my husband will agree. And yeah, I just want to use what I have, but I love this velvet. This is probably, if I get more grandkids than I have velvet yarn, this would be the one thing that I would make sure I buy, because every baby needs a blanket or a little Lovey made out of velvet yarn. So anyways, this will be used towards probably amigurumis, or I might be able to get another Lovey out of it if I bought another animal with the like colors. But for the blanket, I used a 6.5 millimeter hook and the tutorial by Zelda and RJ3, which a lot of people use, where you crochet around the hair tie. Not the granny style that I used in the previous Lovey that I showed. And I don't want to give it all away, just so that you can go to her channel and watch her video. But this is the Lovey, and it started out with this type of pink, gray, and then 2 rows of the light pink. And once I put it on, I think it's big enough, because once she gets old enough, she'll put it in her little arms and want to be able to hold it, and you don't want the blanket too big with the animal. So that's that. No color control again. This is just how it worked out, and I'm happy with it. So those will be moving on Saturday. I did try to start the layette set for my grandson that is due in March. I figured I would start with the hat, and then I realized I didn't like that hat pattern the last time I tried it. So I need a new hat pattern for, I'm gonna say 0 to 3 months, because if he's due in March, it's gonna be chilly, and I don't expect the kids to keep the layette sets on them forever, but at least I want it to fit their little heads. So I need to find a new hat pattern. If any of you know of one that even comes in multiple sizes, that's easy, give me a shout out in the comments. The sweater pattern that I'm going to use is the same one that I used for my grandson that was born in June. I'm going to do the Thomas cardigan by Crochet for Baby, and I'm sure I could probably go on her website or YouTube channel and maybe find a hat, but I would like everyone's opinion of what was tried and true for you, your go-to, whatever, so that way I have it every time I need one, instead of me going back to square one and looking through all my papers, starting to do them, and then I end up frogging them because I don't like it. I do have the Newborn Footsies pattern by Dandelion Dreamers. These are socks that I crochet every time. I think I've tried booties twice, like 3 years ago when I first started getting grandkids, and I got frustrated, but I don't mind these booty socks. They're really simple and I can do it without frustration. I do have 9 or 10 skeins of this Yarn Bee Tweed Indeed in the chambray tweed I'm using for the layette set. So I'm going to be slowly working on that. I'm also working on a mosaic blanket that I've showed previous. that's like a long-term project, or if I could put a couple rows on it every day, I'm feeling accomplished. And I do want to start some no-sew amigurumis that some of my YouTube friends are doing. Lisa from Happy to Hook and Rose from Rose Likes Crochet. They don't care for sewing either, so they have several good ideas. I just need to get the patterns and sit down and do them, because in the later spring, I believe, maybe early summer, there's a village yard sale, and I would like to be able to put up a couple tables with some stuff to sell. I also want to look into doing the bigger things, which I mentioned doing an Etsy, and no one commented if they have Etsy and feel like it's worth it. There's a fruit fly and it's driving me nuts. So I debating whether to do that route or not. So again, if anybody wants to share some words of wisdom, or you can email me and talk that way. I'd be really interested to see the pros and cons and stuff like that before I actually bite the bullet and do it. But those are my plans, to have some long-term bigger projects, but also some smaller ones. And I did get some patterns for like a patchwork bear and a patchwork bunny with the blanket yarn, but to me those are kind of a little bit bigger Amy projects, and I'm not really good at Amy right now, so I think in the no-sew is the way to go. I don't want to get frustrated and throw the thing in the garbage. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, that's all I got. I just wanted to get on here while I had a few minutes to bring you up to date on the two projects. Gab a little bit about where I think my brain is going as of today. Doesn't mean by the next video that I haven't gone a completely different direction, because as crafters, we all know that's what we do. So please like, subscribe, share if you want to. I love talking down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.